Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Quiz? No. Welcome back to another exciting edition of Mr. Hall's Virtual Classroom. I'll be your host, Mr. Hall. Well, time to come to class, kids. We got a very exciting lesson in store for you today. I'm gonna take you guys on a little ride here. A little ride away from the corona and into applying equations that have nothing to do with the coronavirus. So, I will say, my allergies are bothering me really badly. And I got a fever. And what I need is more cowbell. Alright, so let's dive right in here. If you would, we're going to be talking about applying equations. I want you guys to turn to page 323 in your book. It's going to be about as exciting as we can make it today, but they're kind of like word problems, and I've never once heard anyone say they thought they were exciting. So, we're going to try to spice them up here a little bit. What say ye we dive right on in, and let's take a little gander at example 1. It says for us to find a number such that 5 times the number. Alright, so key words we want to start writing down. I've told you guys this from day one. When I hear something like, 5 times, I know that means multiplication. So I want to go ahead and write my number 5. And I'll do it in black. Alright, 5 times a number. Well, we don't really know what the number is. So when we don't know, we put a variable, right? So 5 times the number. And again, it says 5 times the sum of the number and negative 3. So 5 times the sum of a number and negative 3 would look something like this, because you're saying 5 times a number and negative 3. So what does this kind of look like to you guys? It looks like distribution a little bit to me, if I were... So let's keep going across. It said is less than. Is stands for what? Equal sign. Is equal. 3 less than. So that's 3 less. That means it's a negative 3. Then the opposite of a number. So just because we heard the number 3 come first, it says it's 3 less than the opposite of a number. So what that is saying is we still have our unknown variable. So we'll keep in. That's what we're using. Minus 3. So let's go back and reread that so we can kind of catch some of the significance of the root words we're hearing. Find the opposite of a number such that 5 times the sum of that number and negative 3. Alright, so 5 times the unknown, which we said, 5 times n, and then plus basically negative 3. Alright, so all that was telling us it needed to be in together because the n and minus 3 were connected together. And it was 5 times those two sums. So, if we read a little further, it says is, the word is represents equal to, and here's the kicker that throws some people for a loop. When it says negative 3 is 3 less, just because the number is said first doesn't mean it comes first. Keep reading where it says less than the opposite of a number, so that's saying that the negative 3 is actually less than a number. So when you write that, it needs to be negative n minus 3. Now, guess what we're going to do? We're going to solve for our variable. Are you telling me right now that you don't even remember our song? Allow me to help you. Variables on the left, constants on the right. Variables on the left, constants on the right. Alright, so with that being said, let's go ahead and work it out. So we got 5 in. What do we get when we do some distribution with 5 times negative 3? We get a negative 15 equals n minus 3. Alright, so we can bring this guy over. That becomes what? 4? Right? No, because it changed right here. When you bring it over, it was negative. Now when you bring it over, it becomes positive. So we actually add it's 6n. This is negative here. When you bring it over, it's going to be positive. So 6n equals a positive 15 minus 12. Minus 3, which gives us 12. I'm sorry. So divide by 6, and 1n equals 2. Oh yeah. Gotta love that 1n equals 2. Alright, so continuing on. And I'll let you guys work on the skill checks, if you will. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I will help you. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about some steps in solving word problems. Alright, looking on page 324, it says for us to represent an unknown quantity with a variable. Well, we did that in the last problem. We represented the unknown with a variable. We chose n. It doesn't matter. You can choose any letter of the alphabet, but n number just seems to fit very well. Alright, it says, when necessary, represent other conditions in the problem in terms of a variable. Identify two equal quantities. So that means adding like terms, basically. It says, write and solve, then check your answer. Well, these aren't anything that have been introduced to you that are new. You guys, from previous lesson, found out how to check your answer. You go back and plug your variable that you solve for into your equation, and the left should equal the right. So all you're doing is basically just building an extra step to what you previously just learned. Alright, so example 2, we're going to take that and run with it. It says the sum of two consecutive integers. Alright, two consecutive integers mean that you're going to have in a row, consecutive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, with that being said, you don't know what the first one is. So, but it does tell you what it equals, because we hear the word is 173. So let's just write that down. Alright, so let's build a little further, if you will. It says that we're taking two consecutive integers, whether that be 1, 2, you can have 165, 166, but you need to pick a number that follows directly after. So we're going to take x, or you can pick n, doesn't matter, x, then your next number has to be x plus 1. Because what that is saying is, if this number was 1, if x was 1, how would I get the number 2 since it's consecutive? I'd have to have 1 plus 1, right? Which is represented right here. So that's how we're finding consecutive. That way if you do get confused. Alright, same concept. I need to be able to solve for like terms. Move this over. This gives me 2x right here. And if I move this over, it becomes negative. Minus a 1 over here is 172. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. And if we got 1x equals, let me make sure I got it, 86. Well, how do I know if 86 is right? Well, guess what? I can go ahead and plug this right back in to anywhere I see an x. So if I had 86 plus 86 plus 1, that should give me what? 173. And I don't know why that's not showing very well. Let me pop it down.